Mm-hmm.
But now it's whoever is a top and whoever is a bottom.
Oh.
All right, checking sound levels. Speak, boys.
Check, check. 1, 2.
Hello, people of the internet.
Yeah, that seems fine enough. All right. So, let me just get everything almost started. Do I want to put myself in this? I guess. Because I was wondering if it would bother the thing to have too much stuff running, but it should be fine. Okay. I eventually need to have a waiting screen. And rig. On the board. All right. We're pretty much ready. Let me just do one last thing. All right, I guess we are ready. All right, Mech, hit us with the YouTube intro.
Hey, welcome everyone to our little game here. We're going to be using an AI to try to take over this mall here.
Correct.
Going to go off the frickin' rails really dang quick, so let's see where it goes tonight.
True. All right. So, basic premise of the game, everybody, is we have two competitors. They are Mech and they are JC. They are going to use AI to try and conquer the board. The whole point of the game is to conquer the board. However, while I may be the person narrating, I am not the DM. The DM is going to be run by Novel AI tonight. And with that, it will be a very interesting time. Yo, what up, Mini Rex? Welcome to the channel. All right. So, since we already established that Mecha's youngest, he will go first. But however, tell me where you want to go. Where would you like to be put, Mech?
Let's start at Jared today.
Okay. You start at Jared, and not only do you have Jared, but you have
I'm also gonna try to
the squatting Slav that you had yesterday. Congratulations, you got him back.
Awesome. Jason's back.
Jason is back, and he is as angry and Slavy as ever. However, since you're starting with these people, they don't have an attribute. You get that on conquering. Just letting you know now.
All right.
Well, actually, nah, we'll make it more fun. I'll roll for it. All right, let's see what Jared brings. Jared brings...
Wait. His follower is also named Jared?
No, it's like Jason.
Oh.
Jason's
He
squatting
is-
Slav.
He is an arrogant, squatting Slav. Congratulations. Welcome. And where would you like to start, JC?
Let me start in the mall college.
All right. You are at the mall college, and you have a very suave, debonair man. His name is Eduardo. He likes to work out on the weekends, and you and he are not the same. And Eduardo brings with him a homemade prom dress. Maybe he does a little bit more on the weekends than you know.
Dude, he works out with the prom dress on.
He does work out with the prom dress. All right, boys. So make sure you have that written down somewhere. I just want to let you know, good luck, have fun, and we will see what happens. Mech, it is your turn to start.
I am going to talk to my Slavic friend, and we are going to start the Communist Cat Party.
Oh.
All right, Communist Cat Party is in play. I hope it does well under your banner of Miao Zedong. All right, JC,
Now that's for all.
your plan?
Me and Eduardo make a workout community or club within the college to attract more followers.
So you basically just start an athletics club at the college?
Exactly.
Okay. I guess we can say that's your turn. Your turn, Mech? And your communist banner?
All right. I'm going to go over to the Guns and Ammo and see if they would like to join our communist party and to share our riches and resources with the Guns and Ammo.
All right. Give me a quick second here, boys.
And we're going to be like dappered up and like a ton of jewelry.
Okay, writing. This is going to be the only time where there's going to be a little bit of downtime, chat. Just letting you know while this happens.
Perfect time for any questions.
True.
Like, my question is, does my club give me more followers?
No. Well,
Oh.
I can't tell you that. That's up to the AI. I don't know how you're going to word that, but good job.
Let's see just how far the AI is going to take it this time.
Right. All right. Mech, the communist kitty, and his Slavic squatting friend Jason, who was fairly arrogant, would walk to the Guns and Ammo store, decked out in their jewels from Jared the jewelry store. They would ask the two owners if they would be willing to unite under their communist cat-centric party and join together. The two owners would say yes, because they were too dumb and greedy to know any better. Mech would then lead them to a secret meeting room where they set up a call for a general assembly for all cats. All right.
Well,
So it looks like not only did that work out, but it worked out very well. Yeah. And not only that, you unlocked, let's see, where was this? Guns and Ammo? The two twins. One of them is a massive weeb. The other one is also a massive weeb. And together they opened a fake ninja merchandise and ammo store. Congratulations. Their names are Air and Ran, but conjugated into Japanese, so it sounds cooler.
you can tell he's a weeb because he's got his arms behind his back.
Congratulations. And let's see what they bring to the table.
Now, when you say fake,
They are
weapons, these
tall. Congratulations.
They are tall.
They are both fairly tall at a blistering 6'3" each.
So when you say fake, like Japanese weapons and guns,
They
Are we
that is
talking
correct.
are we talking like the super blunt, like metal katanas that you can buy at those like gun or knife shops that sometimes pop up in malls?
Yes.
Is that what we're talking about? All right.
Yes, they have that, and they also have airsoft guns, all of them shaped after very famous anime character guns, like the one from Psycho Pass and the gun and the swords from Bleach.
All right.
He immediately got let down because the AI didn't tell him it was real guns.
Not yet.
So you have Air, Ran, and you have Jason, the slaving squat, instead of the squatting Slav. And you're all at the guns and ammo store. All right, JC, what do you want to do with your turn?
Me, Eduardo, and the Athletics Club go to Foot Locker to get a sponsorship for our club.
And so that's all you want? You're not trying to take it over, you just want a sponsorship?
Well, I'm thinking that that would turn into a takeover.
No. Not by the rules of the game. But if the AI decided that it turned out to you opening it, sure. All right. JC and his handsome, suave friend Eduardo, who had been the dean of Mall College, would walk over to the Foot Locker in order to try and get them to sponsor the athletics club they had put together. They asked the manager if they'd be willing to work with them. If he said yes, then he would agree to meet with them at a certain time in a certain place. There would be a meeting for all of the students. This way, they could show that school had no choice but to become involved, and they had no control whatsoever over the athletics club. The athletics club would also help the school's reputation, as well as give them something positive to talk about. The club was completely student-run, meaning that they wouldn't have any interference from anyone else. Okay. All of the money that were made off of sales would go back to the club, so there weren't any issues when it came to money. It wasn't like the school was going to lose anything either. They didn't receive any profit on their own. Okay. The two were looking forward to getting some funding so they could start construction on new equipment. After the first day, there was still nothing except for the wake. JC decided to get some sleep and that he'd be good enough to be alert when the deal or whatever happened next.
So I got a wig.
It doesn't look like it's working out too well.
No. Seems like all I got out of it was a wig.
He went to the bathroom and used the toilet before laying down in his own bed. On top of the comforter, there was a small bag that contained all the things he needed to survive. It was a clean pair of underwear, socks, and pants.
Okay, I got a wig, clean underwear, socks, and pants.
At the bottom of a bag was a blanket and a sleeping pillow, which he took out so he could use to sleep. When he laid down, he quickly fell asleep. His dreams were filled with images of his childhood. All right, I don't.
Yeah, this is going off.
I don't think that you unlocked the sponsorship you wanted. I'm gonna call
But I
that
got
a
a
wash.
wig, clean underwear, socks, pants, blanket, and a pillow.
You basically got a whole nice little care package coming to you. So, and you know what? That's pretty cool. All right, Mac, it is now your turn. But what you did do is you met with the manager, and that means you got to see. Where are you? The gimp that works at the Foot Locker.
Oh no.
His name is He is very not happy with people, and he doesn't really like to be talked to that much. However, if you manage to befriend him, he will be very loyal and will do anything for you. So he is the roaming boss at this area. Yay! All right, Mech, it's your turn.
All right. I'm going to use my turn to grab some swords off the walls and start sharpening them.
All right, you can do that. All right, your turn, JC.
Okay, let's see. Me and Eduardo go to the theater to give the manager a blanket and pillow so he can take a nap and we can take over while he sleeps.
All right. All right. JC and his handsome friend, Dean Edward, would make their move on the movie theater. Their plan was to bargain with the manager and to offer him a pillow and blanket. Then, when they took a nap, JC and Edward would take over the store.
Sounds flawless.
They walked into the room and told the manager that there were no movies playing today, but if they wanted to see a good movie, he should come back tomorrow. The manager agreed and said he'd be happy to rent them out one of the new DVDs for $7.
What?
You heard me?
Oh my god.
Oof. Ooh. Let's see. Let's go down to here. Go down to here. All right. Let's see. He gave them a list of the movies available, which included American History X, Scarface, and The Godfather. They went home and then a large pile of pillows on the floor in front of the TV and began to watch their chosen movie.
Oh my god, we just got distracted.
Distracted and end up watching movies. The action film starring Al Pacino as Tony Montana, who was a Cuban immigrant living in Miami Beach during the 1970s. At first, it seemed like another typical mafia story. However, about halfway through, things changed drastically. Is this really going to give me a play-by-play of Scarface? As soon as the movie started showing how much power cocaine had over people, JC realized that this wasn't going to end well at all. This wasn't what I expected, claimed the Dean Edward. I'll give you a few more rolls to see if it tries to course correct.
We've learned the dangers of cocaine.
Yes. Also, new rule, I am giving y'all 3 course corrects throughout the whole game. You can have 3 times where you try to get the AI in place or just roll out your rolls on the story. So something good could happen or something bad could happen. All right, let's see. This isn't what I expected at all. I thought we were watching Scarface, not some stupid drug drama. JC didn't care too much as he already knew what would happen next, but after hearing Edward complain so loudly, he decided to explain the movie why the movie ended up being called Scarface. In order to understand the true meaning behind the name, you'd have to know a little bit more history regarding the time period it takes place in. During the late 60s and early 70s, America was divided between 2 political parties, namely Republicans and Democrats. This division caused many problems within our country, including racial tensions, crimes, and etc. One of the major issues during these times was the Vietnam War. Many Americans did not want to fight in such an unpopular war. No, you didn't get the theater. You instead got a movie and hung out with the Dean.
I got Scarface on DVD.
You got Scarface.
I'll add that.
on
I'll add that to my inventory. Scarface on DVD.
Yay!
Nice.
All right, it is now your turn, Meekery.
Oh my god.
Oh, hold on. You also did uncover the actual manager at the theater,
Oh, true.
who is... Let's see. Her name is Karen. Yay! She's there and she's angry and she makes everyone's life a living hell. And that's probably why you didn't want to stay there that long. You just wanted to get away from her.
Hey, at least she gave you a DVD.
But they didn't even come in for a DVD.
Too bad. You can't complain to Karen.
That's true.
Dude, go to a theater. Sorry, we're not playing any movies today, but you can rent a DVD if you like.
Yep. We're not playing any movies. Just rent this DVD and go away. All right. All right. Next move, Cat.
All right, I'm going to continue on to Dillard's. Gonna leave my weebs at the guns and ammo with their sharp swords and continue on to Dillard's with my bling to bring them into the Communist Cat party to share in our riches.
No, but there's no riches in communism.
Shh. It's the reason why we're wearing jewelry.
No, of course.
I am the new propaganda machine.
Okay. Mick, the communist cat with a lot of jewelry, and his arrogant Slavic friend Jason would walk over to the Dillards to see if they could get the store to join their communist party, offering only a promise that riches would come to them if they joined him. Okay. Mech knew this was just another way for them to take things from others. They had no real power in the world except through people who believed in what they said or what they wanted, something so much that made sense to give up everything from money and status. He didn't care as long as there were more jewels around than before. He loved shiny things, especially when other cats gave them away. He walked into the store carrying 2 boxes filled with small silver rings and earrings and chains, along with necklaces of various lengths. "Hello," Mech called out, walking past the sales clerk towards the manager's office at the back of the store. It was almost an hour, but finally, after many threats, by the manager's secretary, she got all 3 men together in one room. All right. So apparently threatened the secretary to get back to the room. She told them about how these cats were trying to force her boss to change his business policies, which resulted in lost profits. Mech looked like he cared not at all about the other 2 and seemed worried. Mech would then say that he didn't have such policies anyway.
Not even negotiating with the manager, straight up their secretary.
Yep. Then what good are those policies if you don't follow your own rules? Finally, after hours of talking and arguing, Mech decided he'd let them keep their profit-making policies. He could afford to lose a little money here and there. Alright, I don't think your negotiations are going very well. It seems like you're giving up. After all, most businesses make less than half of the profits during the year. So now everyone's happy, including Mech following his orders, Mech said to himself. The next day, Mech went to a bank and deposited large sums of money into accounts under false names. Alright, so the AI decided that you did not get to the Dillards. However, all the jewelry you have, you just started to deposit into boxes.
That started sounding like I would let Dillard's continue being capitalist, and I just have them as like my Beijing.
Rereading it, no, you gave up.
Dang it.
Yeah, you didn't even get a chance to talk to the manager. And
You only talked to the secretary about their policies. You said they can have their own policies, that you wouldn't force communism on them, but you gave up trying to get the store. Instead, you deposited lots of money into a bank.
Okay.
That's not very communist of you. Or maybe that's exactly what communists would do.
That's exactly what communism would do.
Alright, so you now have, while you don't have jewels, you have a large sum of money in your bank account. I'm sure you could restock at the Jared if you want to, but you are no longer walking around in your jewels.
All right.
All right, your turn, JC. All right, hold on. Let me actually update this thing. Since I haven't done that. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh. Dun, 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 dun. This is like turn 4. All right, go ahead.
Okay, myself in the wig and Eduardo in his prom dress go back to the theater to convince Karen that the theater and college should merge to be an educational powerhouse.
Oh.
I swear the AI is gonna automatically know about Karens and just make her go off on a tangent. I can feel it. So Mech's last encounter, he got
Money.
bank
Money.
full of money.
A bank
A
full of
bank
money.
Rolling in that dough now. Allegedly.
Okay. JC, now donning his wig, and Edward, the muscular dean of Mall College, would go to the movie theater and try to convince Karen, the bitchy store manager, to work together with the college and make it an educational powerhouse for the students. It was a bold move, but if they could get her on the board, then she might just be able to help out find out who killed Professor X. She went.
Oh.
She had been so helpful.
Professor X showed up, dude.
She had been so helpful
Showed
before.
up dead.
Before that, he was feeling confident this time. He also wanted to talk about more funding for the government as well. They were going to need some serious cash flow to build up their team for the professors and hire new ones that were needed. When there were always the chance that somebody would show up wanting to join their club at any point. Generating. Which meant more money spent again. They would go to the theater and found only one person in attendance, a man sitting alone eating popcorn. Hey, Edward said cheerfully, walking over to him. The stranger looked up startled, seeing 2 people approaching him. Suddenly, while not even knowing what movie he came in here to see or why. His eyes widened slightly at the sight of Edward's bald head and muscles. He didn't seem frightened. In fact, his face seemed to show curiosity and recognition. Hello, JC greeted back politely, standing behind him. The man nodded, looking between both of the men curiously. Hi. Edward smiled brightly. Hi yourself, he turned to the man. We're trying to save this place, you know. He blinked, the mention of saving it. Oh yeah, I heard something about that last night. So you went from trying to buy it to trying to save the theater. I mean, I don't really care either way. This is my first time coming down here since the renovation started anyway. I guess I figured that they had more movies playing here than just this one. which he didn't know he was watching.
Just one movie.
Okay. So, that didn't work. You have 2 options. You can re-roll or just end your turn.
If I end my turn, do I have the stranger eating popcorn?
No,
on my team?
he's just there. He's just at the theater. He's eating popcorn and not sure what movie he's watching.
I'll probably just leave it as is. I'll do a reroll later.
All right. That means it is now your turn.
Oh
Mockery.
man, I cannot get a move on.
All right. I'm going to take my now sharp swords and go to Jared's and turn them into the foretold diamond-edged swords of anime lore.
Oh, So you're just straight up turning the fake swords into sharpened diamond encrusted swords, or you're giving them a diamond edge.
Yes.
Oh my god. Fair enough.
He's preparing for war.
He's doing something. All right, so then write that on your resource sheet that you have real fake diamond swords or fake real diamond swords. And that will be your turn, JC. What is your next move?
Okay, me and Eduardo take heavy books as weapons to forcefully throw at the manager and employee of the Foot Locker and hostile takeover.
Oh.
Diplomacy and convincing is not working yet. We have to try other routes. The mall music is so soothing.
Not anymore. Now it looks like we're in for a battle, boys. JC and Edward, the muscular dean, would gather several heavy textbooks and walk to the Foot Locker. They would use the heavy textbooks as weapons as they tried to beat down the Gimp and in a 2-on-1 fight. They knew that if they managed to defeat him, they would be the ones to take over the Foot Locker for good. They had no idea what was going through his head at the time, but he seemed confident in himself. He stood up with an evil grin across his face as he waited patiently for them to come closer. As soon as JC and Edward came closer, the Gimp jumped up into the air, using all of his strength so that he would land back onto the ground and made a huge noise like a thundering strike.
Jesus!
When they hit the ground hard, it caused both Ed's head to snap forward violently from the impact and sent him tumbling backwards. They held each other's hands tightly, trying not to fall off balance.
Dude just made a thunderclap.
It took some effort for them to regain control again. "You know you can't win against me," the Gimp said angrily. "I'm stronger than you two combined together," he said confidently as he began to run towards him, his arms outstretched as ready to strike at any moment. Edward and JC were shocked by how fast the Gimp moved. They didn't even have a chance to get away until the last minute. Edward got the opportunity to move first and quickly grabbed a hold of something nearby, threw it straight at the Gimp.
Bro, the Gimp straight up as a Dragon Ball character.
This thing happened to be a large book called The Great Pyramid. The object struck the Gimp right between the legs, causing him to lose balance completely. Before either of them knew it, the Gimp fell flat, fell flat on his face and rolled around on the floor, groaning in pain loudly. So you throw an Egyptian textbook at him.
He's the Great Pyramid.
This gave Edward the advantage once more, since he could now attack without being attacked back. But just as Edward was about to charge the Gimp, he suddenly stopped moving. His body went stiff. He couldn't do anything except for staring blankly ahead. He felt his eyes go wide open as he realized that someone or something had been behind him, staring directly into his soul. He turned around to slowly see the most beautiful girl ever looking back at him. Her dark brown hair flowed freely past her shoulders. She had the prettiest smile anyone could ask for, and she looked absolutely stunning, wearing nothing but a pair of blue panties covering herself up.
We have a mission!
Her skin glowed bright white due to her natural beauty. She wore a small black top which revealed part of her cleavage along the way with a matching miniskirt. So she had nothing but panties and a shirt and a miniskirt
Oh my god.
that showed off her long, slender legs. and all. She was simply breathtaking. She walked towards him gracefully, and she owned every inch of the space surrounding her. There was something mysterious about this woman who intrigued Edward greatly. I think he's losing focus.
God damn it, Edward!
Something deep within his heart told him to stay calm and follow whatever orders that she might give him. She did exactly that. After taking a few steps back, the mystery woman spoke softly. Well, well, looks like we've have ourselves another victim here, don't you think?
Oh my god.
She asked as she stared down at the dean. He immediately stopped. What? I am not your victim. You are my prisoner. You will be treated accordingly. Oh, really? And why should I believe you? She replied sarcastically. I've never even seen you before in my life, so how could you possibly tell me that you're my captor? The dean was speechless for a brief moment, and then he finally regained his composure. You only have a few more clicks. It doesn't look like it worked out. He answered back, because I'm the headmaster, and therefore you will obey everything I say to the letter, or suffer dire consequences. Haha, you mean the same threats that make us kids back in our days? Last roll.
Come on.
Well,
At least
guess-
have somebody join our side or something.
Well, guess what? I'm immune to those kind of punishments anymore. Do you understand? No one is allowed to treat me badly ever again after what I've suffered in my childhood years. No matter what happens, I won't let anyone ever hurt me ever again. Okay, so it didn't work out.
Oh my god.
You got into a
dang,
fist
dude.
fight with the gimp, but
Dude, we had it.
apparently his master or mistress was in the background in the back of the store just waiting for you guys, and she's so beautiful that the dean I guess your tank just lost focus.
Dude, we had him. The gimp was on the ground. He was ready for defeat.
You were
And then
close.
Eduardo just got distracted by the pud, dude.
He wanted her, dude. She was beautiful.
Oh my god, Edward.
Unfortunate. No victory here. Alright, your turn, Mech. I'm sure that all of that was very weird to you.
Yes.
But now you have info that the Gimp is not alone at the Foot Locker. There is also a very beautiful woman there.
All right. I'm going to leave myself and the Slav, and we're going to start preparing spear barricades at both of the stores while I send my my. Are they twins or just my two tall weebs over to the Foot Locker to win over them with their weep charm?
You don't have access to the Foot Locker. Wait, do you have the...
right, I have-
Dillard's first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to go through Dillard's first.
I mean, all you have...
Actually,
go ahead.
Do the same thing, but to Adam and Eve.
You can't go to Adam and Eve. You have to get the Dillards. I just can't make
I have to
that
get the
representative. The only way to get to
Dang.
Adam and Eve is to own the Dillards. It's like the top tier store.
All right.
So you're fortifying your defenses, and you're sending Air and Ran to the Dillards to try to
Yeah.
fight whoever's there.
Uh,
You didn't really say what they're gonna do there.
I want them to go in and try to charm them into joining us.
I mean, they're okay. They're greasy teen weebs, but all right, we'll see what happens.
Their weebish charm.
Their weebish
We'll
charm.
get them.
This isn't a Scott
Yes.
Pilgrim movie. I don't think she's a manic pixie dream girl who's just happily to fall in love with the slackers.
Hey, you never know.
I'm so disappointed in Eduardo.
It's Edward.
I thought you said Eduardo.
I kept saying Edward. You just keep calling him Eduardo.
I'm pretty
Oh,
sure
no.
the first time you said Eduardo.
It's just because you're Hispanic now.
Oh.
Okay. Mech, the communist cat, would send his subordinates Air and Ran to the Dillards in order to try to charm the manager into joining their communist party. Air and Ran were twin brothers. Both of them had long, unkempt hair and sweaty, acne-filled faces. However, Air liked to dress in light colors and had a white fedora, while Ran had a black fedora and an unkempt neckbeard. Together, they would try to charm and seduce the manager into going to their team. Mech also knew that this was not likely, but he felt that it needed to be done for morale reasons, so that the others wouldn't think he was weak or indecisive. Ran, hey, Mr. Dillon, I'm your new neighbor. Mr. Dillon, what's up? Aaron. Air. Oh, nothing really. We just wanted to introduce ourselves. They shake hands. Mr. Dillon, well, you can call me Jeff if you want. Alright, I think they think Dillard's isn't the store.
Oh my god. My name is
no.
Dylan, but you can call me Jeff.
Yes.
Hello, Dylan named Jeff.
Hello, Dylan, Jeff. Okay, let's see if I fix this typo, if this works. There you go. The two communists entered through the back door as always with Mech's permission. They walked around for a while trying to find something that might catch his eye before they finally decided on some women's clothing. The pair went to the counter where an older gentleman sat behind the newspaper. He looked at the twins who smiled awkwardly at him. Hello, sir. Hi there, he said, looking down at the twins. His eyes scanned over their bodies until he saw what caught his attention.
Oh no. No.
The two wore tight dresses that hugged every curve of their figures. One was pink and one was blue, but both showed off all sorts of cleavage. Oh no. Keep in mind, these are sweaty, greasy dudes. Their breasts bounced as they moved, causing the old man to stare openly. Finally, he spoke again. Can I help you? Air grinned happily. Yes, we're here about your employment opportunities. He placed his hands on top of the other, which shook them slightly for the nerves. We like to be hired at this establishment so we can better serve.
Dude, are they defecting?
They're either defecting or they're fucking like playing a long con. We'd like to take care of business. Ren stepped forward. We'll do anything else you ask us to. Anything to get those jobs.
Oh man.
The man laughed heartily. Well, if that's how you feel, I don't see why not. All right, so I'm going to stop it there. And it looks like Aaron and Ran are now working at the Dillards.
Oh my god.
They're my double agents.
They are your double agents at the
Dude,
Dillards.
Oh my god.
You sent them in and they just saw women's clothing, put it on, and were like, I must work here.
Okay, now I'm just thinking that I somehow trained them to be like, you know, the KGB women's spy unit
Yes.
that went in as seductors.
Yes.
That's all I'm thinking. Oh no. All right, I'll roll with it.
All right, we'll see what comes from there. But while they are there, keep in mind you
Oh,
do
man.
not yet own the Dillards.
Yes. I just have two spies inside.
What's your next plan, JC? I hope you've
Man,
been
this has got to be my last effort. But me and Edward go to the food court to beg them to join the mall so the students don't starve.
the mall college.
Yeah. Keyword beg.
Got you.
And starve. We don't want the kids to starve. Or the students, I should say. They're not really kids. Might be a couple kids. Early college students?
If it's the mall college, it's gonna be a lot of like sad 30-year-olds or very young teens, like 19 or so. There's like no in between there. Either you're trying to get your life out of a rut, or this is all you could afford. From what I've seen, I mean, I'm doing this based off of real life. I do see the mall college when I go to work sometimes. It's a sad place. I would recommend trying it. All right. JC and Edward, the muscular dean, tired from all of their failed attempts, would walk over to the food court where they would meet with the lunch lady in charge. They would get on their hands and knees begging for the lunch lady to team up with the mall college in order to provide the students with nutritious meals so the students would not starve anymore. The mall had a lot more money than the school did, and could afford to feed them better, but because this was such an important cause, they were willing to help out. They were willing to help out without asking anything back or expecting any favors. Once again, JC would be forced to make promises he could not keep and beg for forgiveness when his time to deliver. I'm sorry, I have no control over that, the lunch lady says as she had woken up from her nap after a long night of double shifts at work. she was double shifting the food court. It's what my boss tells me. She then pointed behind her to one of the big mini kitchen areas. See these two men standing there? She nodded, not even knowing, looking up any better to see exactly how useless his presence really was. Oof. All right, so they are helping you, but they're not giving you much aid. So while you can call them a territory, you can't really use their resources, or you don't get very much of it, is what I'm getting here. Let's see. One man nodded and the other one didn't even bothered looking up as if he knew exactly how useless his presence really was. They're the ones who are really in charge of everything here. As soon as the lunch lady mentioned these men, both of their heads turned around quickly and stared straight ahead until they were asked to leave by security guards hired specifically for the job. Alright, you get like 3 more rolls. This made the dean and JC look down at themselves once again. They felt bad about making the lunch lady feel embarrassed and guilty since she was doing her best, despite being surrounded by people who seemed completely oblivious to what was going on around them.
These
After
people
leaving
run
the
this
food court, they would head towards the student lounge, which housed several computers along with couches and chairs and relax and socializing before class. It was served in a place where students could study together and take tests. All right, so yes, like I
Yeah.
said, you joined with them, but they will not give you many resources. You can use them as a marker. You can say it's your territory as far as the score counts. However, you can't really use any food there or their lunch ladies.
Yeah. I like how we went over. She's like, these two men run the operation, and then security that was specifically tailored to take them out, escorted them out the building.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. Alright, Mech, it is now your turn. Also be aware the boss of Dillard's wasn't revealed to you because you haven't had your informants come back to you. So that's why you
Alright.
didn't get to see who's working at the Dillard's.
I'm gonna send a secret message to Dillard's to tell them to do a coup de grace as spies and take over the Dillard's from the inside. My cross-dressing
Anime-loving
Weebs.
brothers.
But earlier, when I tried to fight the Gimp, where he just straight up jumped up hit
And
the ground, straight up thunderclap.
Yeah, dude, he thunderclapped, bro.
Dude, he knocked me and Edward down on our asses.
He's a big boy. Look at him.
Oh, shit, dude. Man, dude, just hitting it.
Well, you know, he's an addict.
Game is hilarious.
It's pretty
Even
good.
Even if you lose, you're a winner.
Uh, All right, and since you're trying to go for a full attack, you will now meet with the manager of the Dillards. Because apparently you're trying to kill them. Unfortunately for you, it's Thanos.
Oh, excuse me.
Unfortunately for you, it was Thanos.
Like Thanos with the glove or
Yes.
Thanos without the glove?
He has the glove.
So is it the marker that's Thanos, or is it actually Thanos is the Dillard's manager?
Thanos is the Dillard's manager.
Oh,
He's fallen a long way.
Instead of taking
I will
50% of
change
the
the world.
population, he's taken off 50% of the prices.
Yes.
dang!
All right, boys, get ready for the battle. Air and Ran, the two anime-loving brothers who were working at the Dillard's clothing store under Mech's orders, would receive a secret correspondence from the cat that said it was time to overthrow the store. Their plan was to sneak into the manager's room to assassinate the manager. However, the manager was Thanos, and he was not above reducing the would-be attackers to atoms. I have been sent in
no.
as a backup in case they got caught by surprise or something went wrong with their plans. I have arrived just at first to attack them when Thanos' guards attacked them both simultaneously. The fight was short-lived, however, and I easily defeated all three of the guards. It did give me a chance, an idea, though. Ran, you know how we can make this work? I asked him as looking down at his feet and where small bits of dust floated. We could use these guys to come back here. He looked up at me confused for a moment before understanding dawned upon him. Oh, right, that's what we should do, he exclaimed happily. I think Ren is I, Air is I, right? Air nodded in agreement and began to walk towards the door that led out to the office building. Before the building was quickly and headed straight toward the destination, which turned out to be one of those big box stores that sells everything from clothes to furniture and electronics. Dillard sells electronics? I guess they do now. The AI decided it.
They have small electronics.
This place sold so much stuff that there was no way anyone would notice anything missing. Once they were inside, we took a quick look around before we didn't notice any security guards or cameras anywhere. As soon as we decided and made sure that no one was watching, Rand pulled out some kind of keychain device from his pocket and opened a hidden panel behind the counter. Inside was a large metal safe. After taking several bundles of cash, we closed the safe again and put it back. We exited through the front doors, leaving the keys hanging off the side of the wall and next to the safe. So apparently your boys decided to just cash out and leave. They no longer work for you. They bailed. They took some money and they dipped.
Why is it every time I try to attack, my guys are just like, we're going to break into the safe and run off with the money?
Because this is just what your guys do. And now you've pissed off Thanos. Good luck.
Oh my god, I'm glad I didn't send those guys in with any equipment.
I mean, they made their nut, you know?
Yeah, no, I'm just happy they didn't take away anything else other than themselves.
Dude, they opened the door like, oh shit, it's Thanos. Nah, let's go steal the money and
Let's just get some money and go.
Nah, man, I'm not
Reduced.
dying today.
Reduced to atoms. Suffer.
As they looked down and saw that they were already starting to turn to ash, their shoes were getting
Dusty.
ashy.
Yeah. They were like, I think we should leave. Then perish. Alright, it is now your turn, JC.
Me and Edward, armed with history books, go to the Gimp at Foot Locker to convince him to join the Mall College and Food Court Alliance to protect all of us from the Cat Communism Party.
Alright.
We cannot let history repeat itself.
You tried to teach him that, literally?
Yes. A little bit of education, a little bit of gaslighting. Hey, nothing else worked. I had to scrape to the bottom of the barrel and straight up just beg. And the food court was just like, yeah, we'll feed you, but you can't use any of our other stuff. Olga's straight up just polling, dude.
Dang.
I can't command her to do anything, but she won't kick me out or anything, so.
She's just hanging out, dude. All right. JC and the muscular Dean Edward, armed with history books, would go to the Foot Locker. They would see the manager, who was a gimp, and try to convince him to join the Food Court and Mall College Alliance. JC would warn them that if the Foot Locker was not to join, then they would be taken over by Mech's Communist Party Alliance. The manager agreed, so now there are 2 colleges and 1 mall. It worked out well for both of us because we had more students than ever before. But I did have to spend some money on new equipment and supplies. It cost me about $10,000, but I got my investment back within 2 years. How many people did you employ? Asked Edward. We're at full capacity now, said the Gimp. There is no room for any more employees. Okay, so that went very successfully.
It did.
They joined you, and you now have more students than ever before, and employees as well. So it is a very successful Foot Locker.
Yeah, so now we do have the student body on our side.
Yes.
And Foot Locker employees.
You now have a small army of students. And what did the Gimp bring with him? Let's spin the wheel, baby. The entire Blue's Clues collection on DVD.
To go with our Scarface DVD.
Nice. Hey, maybe you could try to sell it to Karen and convince her to join your cause.
I get Foot Locker employees too, right? Because it did say
Yes,
that.
you have employees of Foot Locker and a full 2 colleges. It now became the Foot Locker College. Yay! All right, it's your turn now, Mech.
All right. So I am going to act like those weebs were never a part of my association, and I'm going to see if Thanos will join my party for to have soft, cute cats for all.
Oh,
Maybe he's a cat
Question
person.
Is Thanos a communist?
we're gonna have to find out.
Does reducing everything by 50% mean communism?
Kinda.
I'll be back in like a minute. Just have to use the restroom.
No problem. Oop. Okay. Mech, the confident communist cat, would walk to the Dillard store in order to speak with the manager, Thanos. The cat would walk up to him, acting as cute as possible, as he tried to see if he would be able to convince the space tyrant to join his communist party on the condition that if he joined, there would be enough kitties for all. Mech was a very persuasive cat who could get any human or alien to do anything. He had already convinced many of Earth's society, including Dr. Tachyon, the famous scientist, Mr. Dillon, the owner, and old man of England, even General Kassad himself. But today, it seemed like nothing worked. Not even the promise of more cats than they knew what to do with. Mr. Dillon, said Mech, I have something important that I must discuss. Oh, and what's so important? Before he could finish anything, Mech took out his little red book, which contained a list of names and humans alike who he wanted to help their fellow aliens.
What?
It looks like you're trying to convince Thanos, but it's not working. Give me a sec. I didn't order any food. Oh, I'll get it in a bit. Might be. Alright, anyways, my bad. Let's see. What could be so important before he finished speaking? Mech took out all of his little red books containing the list of names of aliens alike who he wanted to help out the fellow aliens of a world called Earth. He flipped through the pages until he found Thanos' name. Then Mech looked at him directly with his eyes while holding back his boat with both paws and purring loudly.
So now Mech is just a cat.
Please, sir, Mech begged, join our cause. What cause is that? Well, you see, Mech began to explain everything about how communism works, but before he finished his sentence, he was interrupted. Communism? Communism? Yelled Thanos. You're asking me to join your crazy communist party? That's insane. No, no, no. Mech tried to calm down Thanos by waving his tail around in front of him and licking his face. Look at him trying to be as manipulative as possible. No, I swear, it's not like that. It isn't anything like that. We're trying to make everything better here on Earth. We only want everyone to share everything equally amongst each other. You know, equal rights for everyone. Equality for all. What is this pitch? Mech, why are you doing this? Equality my ass, said Thanos angrily. Why should I care about some stupid cat? Because if you don't join us, then there will only be more war between the humans and the aliens.
Oh my god.
You get two.
Thanos was pissed.
You get two more rolls. More war? Cried Thanos. This is the last thing I need right now. My business has been struggling lately because of all the damn wars going on in the universe. War takes away money from businesses, and without money, companies cannot thrive.
Oh my god.
One more roll, but it looks like it's not working. This planet needs peace, not more fighting. But think about it, Mech pleaded. If everyone shared equally, then it wouldn't be as much poverty or crime. Yeah, whatever, said Thanos, but still, I'm gonna pass. That's a hard no. Your cute kitty pitch did not work, Mech. I apologize.
Dude, Thanos just sitting there. Some dude comes up. Actually, a cat pulls
Dang
up.
it.
Sir, let me tell you about communism. And Thanos just gets pissed.
Thanos got super
He
pissed, too.
he goes off the
Thanos
rails.
has been listening to
You want to
is,
tell
like,
me
hardcore.
about communism?
like southern United States communism.
Communism? No. Nah, one of his kids got, like, comrade pilled and wouldn't stop comrade posting, and he just got tired of it.
Jesus Christ.
They were like, it's our stones, Thanos, and he was like, shut up, kid. Alright, I will be back in a second. I'm also going to use the bathroom. JC, plan your next move.
Gotcha.
I am back. What I missed?
Welcome back.
Welcome back. You haven't missed anything.
All right. What's the plan?
I send the GIMP over with the entire Blue's Clues collection on DVD and Scarface on DVD to the theater to convince them to join the college, so we make sure that all the students return their movies on time.
Oh. So what exactly is the plan? Like, I didn't understand what you're trying to say.
To convince the theater to join the mall college so that the students will return, to make sure that the students will return their videos on time. It doesn't make sense for a theater, but it also doesn't make sense that the theater sells DVDs.
That's
Fair.
fair.
Great.
I'm playing to the randomness of the AI. Yeah, the GIMP is taking the Blue's Clues collection and Scarface DVD to Karen.
Gotcha.
Which me and Edward watched earlier, and I gave him an entire lecture on the history of
Scarface.
80s Florida.
Okay. JC would send his GIMP over to the movie theater that was run by the very bitchy Karen with his collection of Blue's Clues movies on DVD. The GIMP would try to convince the theater to join up with the mall college and team up in an effort to try to get the students to bring back their movies on time. If they did not do this, then he would take away all the movie rentals for a month or two until it became clear that the slackers who were the serious students. This could be done without any violence because there was no way anyone could refuse a free gift from someone like JC. He would also make sure each student got one new DVD per week, if she did her part as well. If you want your school to become more successful, then I'm willing to help out, but we need to start working together. You have my word that once we start making money hand over fist, I'll leave you alone. Until then, you're going to keep doing what works best for me. So please call me at 555-555-5555 so we can work something out. I don't know about this, said the principal. It sounds too good to be true. The president nodded slowly in agreement. It sounds great, but can we really get these guys to pull off such a scheme? And why should they even bother helping them out anyway? They don't owe him anything. What possible reason could there be for giving up some of his profits just because they wanted him to help out? As soon as they hung up, however, the president got excited again when he remembered that he had been given a phone number where he could reach Drake JC directly. Okay.
Seems like a success.
We'll call it a success, dude. Yay, good job. The college and the theater are now working together. Good job.
Okay, so it's the GIMP that's over there.
Yes. He is over here. And what did Karen bring with her? Spin the wheel, JC. Tell me what you think you got. Anything's possible.
This Karen will be a midget.
She brings a phone book from 1955.
Oh, it's...
Congratulations. I don't know why she has it.
Kind of fitting?
What?
Why is that kind of fitting for a Karen?
Because she's been doing her thing for so fucking long, I guess. She's just, bitching it up for everybody since the 50s. We didn't establish how old this Karen was.
I think the wheel just did.
I mean, fair enough. All right, Mikari, it is now your turn.
Beeve
You know,
just-
I don't. This Thanos thing is starting to drive me up a wall.
Y'all are Gimp. Yo, what up, Beeve? Welcome to the stream.
I mean, I have a Gimp on my side.
That is true. He does own a Gimp.
And earlier, the Gimp straight up jumped in the air, landed on the ground, and thunderclapped and knocked us on our asses. So.
You're just not gonna get over that,
I'm
are you?
gonna s-
Dude, it was so
I'm going to
hilarious.
stay in character, and I'm going to send my Slav to get Thanos really drunk and get him to sign a contract
All right. Give me
to
a second.
to join us and hand over Dillard's. Just get him like completely shit faced off of Russian vodka.
All right, I'm out. Gotta go back to work. Dang, that was the fastest drive-by ever.
Please. Beeve heard about the Gimp and was out.
Right?
But last AI run for you, Mech, established that you are indeed a cat.
Yes.
You have paws and a tail.
Like you're just straight up a cute kitty.
Like it didn't say you're anthropomorphic. Like you were just straight up a cat.
A cat, yes.
A cute cat. Apparently.
This doesn't work, Mech. You might just have to go to GNC.
Yeah.
GNC.
No, I Thanos is being annoying, so I'm going to get him like completely wasted and get him to sign
now we know
some
that,
papers.
The internet at large does not think that Thanos would be a communist.
That is true.
I just think that the AI probably has learned from society that big old like societal thought that pure communism is a complete evil.
Okay. There we go. Mech, who was upset from that his plan of cuteness did not work, would decide to send his arrogant Slavic friend to try and get Thanos drunk on Russian vodka. Then, when the space tyrant was too drunk, he would sign a contract to give up his store to Mech in a drunken stupor. It wasn't much, but it worked for him. Hey, I guess I'm gonna go buy some food, said Thanos as he stood up at the table. I'll be right back. Then he walked over to the restaurant with a huge grin on his face. His smugness made Mech furious. Why didn't this stupid jerk realize how hard he had been working? How could someone be so ignorant and have everything become such an important person? This is because all of their father's failures at life, no one else's. Alright. I don't think it's working.
Well,
No.
it said at the beginning it
But at
worked.
least he,
No, his
he
plan
left.
worked for him. It wasn't much, but it worked for him. I think he was talking about his plan. Hold on, there's more. Alright, no wonder everyone hated him, but now he knew what to do about that problem. Thanos came walking back to the restaurant, still smiling like a fool. He sat across from Mech and ordered 2 more shots of vodka each. I think
Okay.
Mech is now drinking with Thanos instead of
Thanos
Jason.
got drunk, got up, went to go get food, came back, and got 2 more shots of vodka after he ate.
The waiter brought them over some more. They even finished ordering after taking the first shot. Thanos looked around the room to see if anyone was looking at him or anything. When he saw no eyes were upon him, he smiled brighter than ever, downed his drinks, and yelled, "All right!" The whole bar fell silent. People stared at Thanos, everyone except Mech, who just kept drinking his beer. As soon as he realized no one cared about him anymore, he got angry. He wanted to prove himself superior to these fools and show them that he was better than any of them. So without saying another word, Mech reached under the table, pulled out his blaster pistol, aimed at Thanos' head, and fired off 6 quick rounds. There was
Oh my god!
a loud bang followed by screams coming from every direction.
Did you just kill
Oh my
Thanos?
Why do you have a blast? I guess you have a blaster pistol. Put that on your thing.
It's a blaster pistol.
Oh my, okay.
Give me a second.
Bro, I thought it was Thanos.
I'm
but
pretty
that was the
sure
one
I
was shooting up.
just assassinated Thanos. dude,
People
while
started
we're
running.
drinking.
People started running away from the scene while others tried to help those injured. A few seconds later, Thanos slumped forward to the ground. Blood began pouring from his chest where 3 bullets hit home. He never felt a thing. All right, so you just fucking assassinated Thanos, just straight up. I guess he is no longer on the board. A powerful
Dude, I did his
ally.
gauntlet. That's
No.
what. No.
It goes
I didn't
away
rip
with
it off
him.
his body.
It,
Okay.
it goes
Dang
with
it.
him.
Oh my god.
Jesus, dude.
Do
You got,
do do
drunk
do
with,
do do.
you got drunk with Thanos and then you just stood up and just gatted him.
I guess. Congratulations, great success.
I mean, that's a win in itself, dude. You defeated Thanos.
Okay, that what a wild turn.
I'm just over. Every time I go to diplomacy, I end up murdering someone. Every time I go in to turn someone or be like sneaky about something, I end up stealing stuff from a safe.
Man, and what did you learn?
A murder's inevitable.
I am inevitable.
So, is Mech inside the Dillards or is it just Jason the squatter?
The thing said mech many times, so I guess it's
Yeah.
mech. Mech is now in the Dillards with Jason just kind of hanging out at the guns and ammo.
Okay, since I have a bunch of different followers, can I have them all do something at once?
No, because they're not a core unit, they can only move as a group. Unless it's like building something up, but you can't have
That's
them
what
like.
I'm doing.
Then yes.
Yeah, I want to build something up.
Yes. They can only do things that like a construction crew would do, or an arm. They do very basic things. They can't like, oh, I want him to go negotiate with him and go negotiate with him and go travel, blah blah blah. They can guard, they can build, or they can join and attack. That's as far as an unnamed character can do.
Okay, because I want Karen to bolster up the theater by buttering up the floors, so if anybody comes in, they're slippery.
Okay.
I would want the Gimp to do the same, but at the mall college. Can I do that? Can I move him?
You get one major action. He can move, but he can't like start doing anything while Karen is doing whatever.
Okay, well, can he bring the butter from the theater to the college so we can get that set up?
He can.
All right, I'll do that. I'll do that as my major move, and the last fortification is myself and Edward are making boomerangs out of the hangers of Foot Locker.
All right, y'all guys can do that. The Gimp moved to the. You said food court or mall college?
Mall college.
Mall college. All right. The Gimp is at the mall college, and he brought butter with him. Karen has very well lubed up the floors at the theater, and you and Edward are just kind of sitting down on the ground at the Foot Locker making boomerangs.
Yes. Also, do I not have the Blue's Clues collection anymore?
Karen does, not you. You can
Okay,
ask her to
Karen
give
has
it up, but it's
Okay,
hers.
Karen has.
Yes.
Let me write this down.
I'm more mad that Mech has a space blaster now. I have no idea how powerful that thing will be. I think it thanks your Rocket Raccoon. Which in theory isn't a bad thing to be, I guess. Alright, Mech, what's your turn?
All right. I'm gonna go into the Adam and Eve and with my Slavic friend, offer up drinks and offer them community to join.
Well, can he go there because he's at Guns and Ammo right now?
The Slav cannot, but Mech can.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
Slav would need to travel.
Okay.
So,
Have the Slav go to Dillard's in the meantime.
okay. So the Slav can just hang out at Dillard's. He's on his way. And you want to go and try to drink with the Adam and Eve's manager?
Yes.
All right.
Are you sure that's a good idea? You know what happened last time? It led to murder.
I just have to keep adding more adjectives every time I write this down.
I got about 20 minutes left.
We will see what we can do. And
Yeah,
when it
just
gets
wanted to get
when it gets too late, I guess just throw a Hail Mary and we'll just see what happens. All right. Okay. Mech, the cute communist kitty with a space blaster, would walk into the Adam and Eve adult toy store. When he would arrive, he would try to find the manager of the store and sit them down and have a drink with them. He would offer up his companionship and his camaraderie if the manager were to join him. However, unfortunately for Mech, the manager was a Vaporeon.
Oh.
And Mech, knowing the copy pasta, would have to try his best not to get seduced by him and join his side. If this happened, then all was lost for our cause, but it would be hard since the manager looks like an Espeon. Mech thought this as he walked into the store. "I'm looking for someone," said Mech. "You don't know where they are, do you?" The Vaporeon looked at him oddly and replied in a gruff tone, "They're upstairs." He then left without another word, so Mech went to go see where the deal was with that. As he ascended the stairs, he found himself facing two women that looked rather familiar, but he couldn't quite place their faces. They had large breasts on each of them, both being about size C cups, where it was very difficult for Mech to concentrate when he started talking about sex toys and how much fun they were.
Oh.
I think you're getting sidetracked, Mech.
I think so too.
It took a lot out of him, so he sat back and listened to what they talked. Suddenly, one of them turned to face Mech and asked, "Are you here by yourself? Can we help you pick something out?" ... Before he knew what was happening, Mech's hand was reaching up and grabbing her. She gasped loudly, and suddenly, surprised by the touch, and tried to pull away from him, only for him to hold on tighter. Uh-oh. Is Mech about to go to prison? Her other friend saw this and came over and grabbed his arm and pulled it closer to her chest. He didn't resist and let himself fall against her soft body, his head resting upon hers as she wrapped him in her arms and pressed himself firmly against her. You get 2 more rolls, and if it
What
doesn't
is
kill him,
going
Just
on?
going off the deep end.
oh, this caused Mech to groan softly as he felt the heat coming off of her. Soon
God.
after, she kissed along his neck, and soon enough he was moaning again. Before too long, though, the woman stopped and pushed him back roughly, saying, "That's enough." You get 1 more roll. Mech stood there stunned as the other girl reached forward and dropped him to the floor. He blushed furiously, but he did nothing else. Afraid to move things would become awkward as they already were. Well, it looks like it didn't work out. The manager sent you upstairs, and unfortunately, you got seduced and pushed to the floor.
Oh, jeez.
Unlucky. Turn count 9. Critical failure. Your turn, GC.
Okay, so Gimp butters up the floors of the mall college,
Okay.
and I guess we made the boomerangs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Oh,
we
don't do this.
We fortify the footlocker by closing the metal hangar doors, like the gate.
Okay, so you lock the foot locker.
Yeah.
All right. So you ask it, so shall it be. Just make sure to write it down.
Yeah.
All right, Mech, your turn.
All right. I'm gonna go back to the Adam and Eve with my diamond katanas and hold up the Vaporeon manager and say, "Join us or die."
Oh.
Violence is the only option at this point. But
It does seem to be the most effective. But can violence against a Pokemon work?
and we'll find out.
Okay. Mech, who was shaking off his seduction, would rally himself and head back to the Adam and Eve store. This time, he would have 2 fake diamond-encrusted katanas and threaten the Vaporeon, who was the manager of the store. The Vaporeon would bat his eyes as Mech would say, "Join me or die." Then, he'd slice him in half with one swing. He couldn't wait for this day. It had been a while since he last got laid. "I'm sorry, but we're closed," the Vaporeon said the Vaporeon from behind the counter. "You'll have to come back tomorrow." The Pokemon pouted. pouted, looking around at all the other customers still browsing through their wares. They're mostly Pokemon like herself. Some young, some others older than she was. Alright, so the Vaporeon is a male and a female, I guess. It depends. Apparently with a gruff voice, so don't forget that. She sighed again, her tail curling up from one side of itself in disappointment after being turned on its paws, walking away to the other side of the aisle. It seemed as if there'd be no end to the stores here. Every single day, one of them sold something differently. Clothes, toys, food stuff, and none of it looked any good either. Why did they have so many places selling exactly the same stuff? What was wrong with having just one place where you could buy everything? She made her way towards yet more shops, wandering out of the shelves eventually until coming across an interesting-looking stand. A little blue mouse stood there, waving her paw excitedly. It appeared to be a small pile of stones. Okay, so she just kind of walked out of the store. So, I don't know how to call that.
So
don't
I
sound
sliced
like-
some people in half, and then she just was like, whatever, normal day, da-da-da-da, walks out.
Yes.
What?
I am going to roll that as, well, hold on. Let me add, I'll give you a free flavor text. Mech within appeared by the Vaporeon and demanded to know if that he joined him or not. The Pokemon refused. He had attacked and killed the Pokemon, took all the money out of the register, after which he'd leave, leaving the body for someone else to find later. Alright, so I guess you killed her so long, which is weird because, you know, she has very high defense stats according to the copy pasta. But I guess not anymore. And it's everyone else's problem now. You are here. You have access to the Adam and Eve. However, you do not have access to the Vaporeon, who you just killed and left the body in the store for someone else to find later.
Alright.
You are just brutal this game. Jesus Christ. All right, JC, your turn.
All right. Me, Edward, and Foot Locker employees armed with clothes hanger boomerangs attack the Dillards. Hostile takeover.
Oh.
It's time.
And is the Dillard's fortified, Mech? Is anything on your paper?
Yes, we set up spears outside,
Gotcha.
and also my Slav is still there,
Yes.
Yeah. He's there.
and he should be armed with a diamond sword.
A fake diamond encrusted sword.
Yes, a fake.
Well, I just sliced multiple people in half, so
No, you didn't
is
slice. You sliced Pokemon in half, not people.
okay. Well, Pokemon are more resilient than people.
I guess. But it was a sad way to go that you killed them with fake weeb weapons. Literally every Redditor's dream.
I was just thinking about poor Olga having to do those double shifts at the food court.
The double night shifts at the food court, dude. Okay. Here we go. JC, Edward, the muscular dean, and an army of Foot Locker employees would attempt to siege the Dillard store. However, the store was fortified on the outside with spears lining the building. Inside the Dillards was Jason, Mech's loyal and arrogant Slavic friend, who would try to defend the store by any means necessary. He had a huge group of his own people that thought he was good enough for him to trust them with such a situation. The plan was like this: JC and Eddie would take their army through the back entrance, while I'd be taking my gang to the front door and from behind. It seemed simple at first, but as we got closer to it, it became more complicated than anticipated. We started out early morning at 7 a.m. When we arrived there was already about 10 to 15 Slavs waiting in line to get inside.
Dude, he multiplied.
Bruh. They all looked pissed off because they weren't going home empty-handed. Hey man, one of them said, I don't think you're supposed to have your crew here. The way he said it made me want to punch him in the face so hard that his head would spin 360 degrees. But instead, I just smiled and replied, you know what? You guys are probably correct. If anything happens, please notify security immediately. As soon as he finished taking everyone else left except for 5 or 6 of them. We finally reached our designation. We walked up to the door with no doorknob on either side. After trying both sides several times, we realized something wasn't right. There should have been some kind of handle or doorknob sticking out of there. So after checking the ground, we saw nothing. We then turned and started thinking maybe someone could help us open it. To my surprise, I saw 2 men standing beside me, staring at me with their hands folded together. What? I asked. One of them said, we can't just let you in without a key. My jaw dropped. Before I knew it, I felt myself getting angry. My eyes began to water and my fists clenched tightly until they hurt. This is when I noticed the other members of the gang watching me intently. So then I suddenly heard their voice say, Yo, JC, look at this dude. Look at this dude. As if he didn't hear me, the earlier guy repeated himself, look at this dude. There's no comma, so he's saying, look at this dude, not look at this, comma, dude. This time I couldn't hold it in anymore. Get away from me. He quickly moved over to the side next to his partner. Yo, bro, check out how crazy he looks right now. JC, I think he just started crying. Getting mad.
It's not working. Dude, we were like, all right, big brain plan. Let's go through the back entrance. Back entrance doesn't have a doorknob.
It's locked. It
Open the
doesn't have a door. You bet everything on this. It's not working.
Oh my God.
He quickly moved over to his partner. Yeah, bro, check out how crazy he looks right now. His words echoed through the arena, causing every person present to turn towards me. At the moment, I felt like an animal being cornered. All of these people stared at me with disgust, anger, and hatred. A few of them even laughed and pointed fingers. One woman stood up amongst the crowd. She wore her hair down in a ponytail, had light skin. She looked older than most others, but still very attractive. Her smile made me feel better and brought back my confidence. She spoke, please calm down, young JC. We will not allow anyone else inside until you leave. It took everything I had to keep from losing it completely. I suddenly said, okay, thank you, ma'am. I turned around and started walking towards the exit. Before I got far ahead, I heard, hey, wait up. I stopped dead in my tracks and slowly turned around. Hold on. There stood 2 men along with the rest of their friends who were laughing at me. Come on, man. What happened to you? Didn't you used to be cool? So you tried to get in, it didn't work out, and next Slavic people just started roasting you.
And some lady told me to just go home. I said yes. So I started going home and they just berate me.
Now in canon is my army of Slavic guys that shit talk everyone.
Yes, they're not fighters, but they just break down everyone emotionally.
Dude, Jason straight up just multiplied.
He summoned more Slavs, dude. Where there's one, you have more. That's just the way it works.
If there's vodka, they will come.
Exactly. Drink it, and they will come.
Oh, shit.
Alright. What's your time limit, JC? Do you have, like, one more play, or was that it?
Yeah, at least one more play. I
Okay.
still got some time.
Alright, then I guess Mech, do your turn. What an epic battle.
Okay, I'm going to send Jason and my shit talking Slavs over to Foot Locker to shit talk them into submission.
Ooh.
Don't forget the Foot Locker. We
Oh,
have
and Jason made some Molotov cocktails out of some bottles of vodka.
Oh, that takes a turn if we're trying to build
Damn.
something.
Right. Oh well, I'm just going to try to straight up shit talk them.
All right.
we
All right.
have
Out of
the
the
metal. We have the metal gates down the Foot Locker.
That is true. The Foot Locker will be closed. Don't worry.
Don't worry, shit talk goes through metal gates.
What is it? Vicious Mockery, the actual move in D&D.
Yeah.
Watch, they should talk us so much that we just open the gates and let them in.
They're like, oh. Okay. Give me a second. There we go. All right. Mech would send his friend Jason, the arrogant and foul-mouthed Slavic man, with his group of Slavic friends to the Foot Locker that was owned by JC, who was away at the moment. The Foot Locker was closed with metal doors down. The foul-mouthed Slavs would have to find a way in to claim the building as for themselves. Jason would be coming alone. All right, never mind. As they had been told that there was no other occupants here at the time, so it wouldn't matter if he brought a few more people along with him. He thought about bringing another one of his friends, but decided against it. Okay, so because your intel told him it was closed, he decided to not bring anyone.
He's like, nah, B, I can do this myself.
Right? After all, what kind of good would his Slavic friends do for him? They didn't know the building as well as he did. The two men walked through the hallway until they reached their destination. The door opened on its own, and Jason looked around the room before walking inside. All right? There were tables and chairs set up neatly in the corner of a large room. A pool table stood up against the wall, and a small bar was suited towards the back of the corner of the room. What exactly am I looking for? Jason asked Mech as the two entered the room. All right, I guess Mech teleported with Jason, and they are in the Foot Locker. But will they take it over? I don't see any cameras or anything. You won't, Mech replied. There's nothing here that we can use. But there are things you might want to take with you. Alright, so they're just gonna steal? Things that you could sell off once you get your new life going. Do you mean like stuff from the room itself? Jason asked. Like furniture, decorations, appliances, etc.? Yes, Mech answered. Things like that. You might even want to grab some of the money too. The cash is in the safe under the floor, but the combination is hidden somewhere in the room. Why does Mech just steal everything, dude? What about the girls? Jason asked. Are they locked up? Can they not get out? Are they free to leave when they want? They're not locked up, Mech asked.
I'm just going to point out I'm a cat burglar.
Oh, I hate you. However, they will only leave if you ask them to. If you decide to let them go, then they will have to find their own way home. As far as I'm concerned, they belong to me now, and I intend to use every inch of their bodies. Mech!
Jesus. What the fuck?
Jason smiled.
Oh, no.
It sounds like fun. He made his way over to the bar and poured himself a glass of water. This is going to be
like
interesting. He's certainly different from any other
He's
times he
gonna walk-
visited a brothel. Apparently, the Foot Locker became a brothel. JC put that down. It's still yours, but it got robbed. So,
Rob and
a-
brothel.
a robbed brothel, and Mech, you can have that you own brothel women now because your Slavic friend took them. Apparently.
Okay.
And you decided
Oh,
they were
God.
yours. You just decided that.
I'm a cat with a lot of money in the bank, a fake diamond encrusted sword with a blaster pistol, and now I've got brothel women.
Yes.
I'm a communist pimp cat.
Yes. That seems to be where the story was headed.
God, Jesus.
So now back on my turn, me and Edward get back, and it's just completely empty, the Foot Locker.
Pretty much. I mean, the bar is still there. They didn't take the bar or the money, but they took your women. Apparently, your secret Foot Locker brothel was now exposed.
Damn. So that's why the Gimp was there.
I mean, it makes sense now. And that's why he wanted to start a college with the mall college.
Dude, he's just trying to recruit women into his brothel. Jeez.
I mean, he's at your college now.
Everything comes full circle.
He's there. You left the Gimp with your children. I'm sorry, they're not children. They're adults. You left him with your teens.
Butter up the floors.
You had him lube up the floors and oil up the kids. The legal kids. And don't forget that, chat. What a terrible time. Alright, it is now your turn, Casey.
So I send the Gimp and the college students to forcefully intimidate the Lids into joining.
Alright.
While Edward and I count our losses up at the Foot Locker.
Dang.
And Karen is she's just defending.
She's just
Like
there.
Yeah, like when you're in an RPG, dude, and you hit the defend button.
So she's just there squatted in her position,
Yeah.
just looking out the door.
With the buttered up floors.
So she's not moving an inch, barely breathing, just standing there ready.
Yeah. This is 4-4 right now. I need to get one more area.
Alright, and because you attacked, you get to unlock the manager, Toad. You are forcefully attacking Toad. Okay. JC would send his Gimp along with several college students. They would target the Lid store and try to take it by force. The manager, Toad from Mario, would be sitting there in his high chair, humming to himself and completely unaware of the attack that was coming. If the attack was successful, the store would belong to JC. It could not get much better than this. The next day at lunchtime, JC went down to his local burger joint where he had a couple of kids who worked there part-time. He told them about the plan for taking over the Lid's hat shop later on tonight after closing. After finishing their burgers, they all left together and drove toward town center, which had lots of shops and bars and restaurants. And soon they were within sight of the shopping mall. An explosion rocked the area, sending up huge flames into the sky, accompanied by a deafening bang. Oh shit, the battle immediately started?
Bro, there's an explosion in the mall.
All 4 people inside jumped out of their seats and ran outside, leaving everything behind their unfinished food trays. They stood around staring at what remained of the fast food restaurant. Apparently Burger King blew up, before looking for any sign of damage or injury caused by the blast. None appeared to have been done by any, but no one dared go back to fight the fire brigade until they arrived. Meanwhile, the owner ran out, shouting, "I've lost everything!" She then saw 2 employees standing there watching the whole thing unfold without saying anything. She then asked why they weren't helping put out the blaze. One said, "We're going to do something far more important first." At this point, the other one pointed across the street at a large department store called Lids and shouted, "Come on, guys, we need help!" As they crossed the road, the 3 young men looked at each other and smiled knowingly. They reached into the entrance and they found the door was locked, so they smashed through the glass using some bricks they brought with them. Once inside the building, they made straight for the stockroom and began ransacking the shelves of hats. Soon enough, they had filled a few sacks and started to head back towards the front door. Suddenly, someone yelled, "Stop right there!" and they froze in place. 2 police officers stepped forward and grabbed a hold of one man and took the other away. The remaining guy tried to run past the officer, but was quickly tackled and held down whilst being searched for weapons. A short time later, both of the youths were handcuffed and led out and to join his friends who had already been arrested, while Toad stood watching the whole thing happening. So he called the police as soon as he could. So
our plan was to blow up a Burger King, make a distraction. The kids went in and tried to steal everything, but then the cops got called and they got arrested.
I guess the Gimp blew it up, and while he blew it up, the college students tried to burgle and take it over. However, they weren't expecting Toad to just straight up rat on him and call the police. So that's a no-go, and you lost college students. Not all of them, but I'm going to say at least half your army.
Dang.
It's unfortunate how that happens. Alright, Mech, your turn.
Alright.
I still can't believe you killed Thanos.
And
Just one-
Vaporeon.
I can't believe you killed Vaporeon, dude. That was like the worst hit.
I'm going to send the women from the brothel. Actually, that's too far, isn't it?
They can...
Yeah, Dillard's, right?
Yep, they can go to the
They're at
food court
Dillard's.
or the guns and ammo. Or the Foot Locker, I guess, if you want to send them back to where they came from.
Go back to your hellhole.
Who's at the food court?
Just Olga, from
Just
what I'm
Olga.
told.
Yeah.
Send the woman to Olga to seduce her into joining us.
Oh. Gays in my stream? I'm... Okay. No more battle. In fact, this is a sneaky mission, so we're going to put on the stealth music. Mech, the Generalissimo of his Communist Party, would send his brothel girls to meet with the manager of the food court, Olga. Once they arrived, they had one mission: seduce Olga in order to get her to give up the food court to Mech and not allow JC to use it anymore. It was a very simple plan that worked every time because Olga's pussy tasted like heaven. All right.
Oh God.
She loved how sweet it smelled and enjoyed having it licked for hours.
Jesus.
One day after having lunch at the food court, Mech noticed something unusual about Olga. There were two guys sitting across from her, appeared to be talking, but again, who knows? I guess you're just watching him eat, alright? They appeared to be talking to her and finish. Alright. They appeared to be talking to her, but who knows? He decided to approach them after finishing his meal and asking some questions. Hey, you two are here all by yourselves? One of the men looked up, surprised, and replied, yes, we're meeting a friend. His name is Dan. He's an old high school classmate of mine. Another guy is standing behind him. I'm Mike, and this is my buddy, Dave. Both seemed harmless enough, and even made Mech even more curious as to why they'd come alone to a place like this. Unless, he thought to himself, it's good to see you already. Nice, Mech said, smiling. They asked, so, where did your friend go? Mech responded first. She left us earlier, got called off to work. Sorry, man. Dan chimed in, adding quickly, yeah, maybe next time. Then Mech smiled at both of them. Great, now I know why they're here. A few weeks later, Mech found himself walking through the mall, admiring Christmas decorations. As usual, he stopped off at the food court to grab some dinner before going home to relax. When he entered the food court, it was packed full of people looking for around. He spotted a familiar face, Olga, who walked over towards her table and sat down beside her. Olga looked at Mech with surprise and excitement. Oh, hi there, long time no see, she said excitedly. He chuckled. Well, hello, Olga. It's been a while since our last encounter, hasn't it? Well, you didn't get it, but you are now on friendly terms with her. And you think that her vag tastes like candy.
God.
So, you got that going on. That can be in your book.
Jesus.
I'm good.
Who owns Olga? That's a character trait. No one does. That's the joke. She's just on her third party thing. No one's officially captured the food court yet. JC could just use it. But now that Mech can use it, I guess you both get that one. Because she's just letting y'all have
Yeah,
it.
it's just Poland, dude.
It is. Well, so much for the stealth mission. All the stealth missions seem to fail terribly. Except when they succeed and the people just run away afterwards. That's a thing. Oh, God. Alright, so you got one more turn, JC. What you gonna do?
I might have a few more turns, actually.
Man, the time just keeps changing. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, the wifey went over across the street and I'm waiting to see if it's just gonna be a girls' night or if I'm going to go over and hang out too.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Anyways, okay. I moved Karen over to Foot Locker. I keep the Foot Locker employees there, and myself and Edward moved to the food court.
Ooh. Alright, done.
And then I get the GIMP and the college students to get projectors together.
Just like amassing projectors.
Yeah.
Okay. It is done. Also, I want to make this more interesting, so I'm going to put this at a Mario Party 15 turn limit. I want to see what you guys are going to do.
I think it's technically 5-4.
You have theater, Foot Locker, mall, and food. You didn't get lids because that didn't work out.
Yeah.
So that's 4. And Mech has Adam and Eve, Dillard's, food court, guns and ammo, and Jared. So yes, he has 5 technically. You're on, Mech.
Oh, my turn?
Yes. As you're working on your Unity project, I'm sure.
Yes, sorry. I'm going to have Jason make Molotov cocktails for him and his posse.
Okay, it is done. So ends your turn. All right, go for it, JC.
Okay. So myself and Edward go to Lids along with the Gimp and the college students with their projectors to blind everyone in the Lids and run in there while they're blind to take it over.
Oh. All right. JC, Edward, the muscular dean, the Gimp, and several college students armed with projectors would march to the Lids hat store. Their plan, to use the projectors to blind everyone in the store, even the manager, Toad, in order to take over the store in the confusion. They were going to steal all of their hats and sell them for a profit on campus later that night. The group walked down towards Main Street, past the small shops like a pizza place where they had eaten earlier that day before reaching their destination. As they got closer to the shop, Edward would see that it was closed up tight. No one would be around at night except for himself and his crew. He turned back towards the others and opened the door leading into the building. "We're here." "You go first," JC said behind him. "I'll cover you." Edward nodded and stepped through the doorway, only to be greeted with an empty room. A large sign hung above the entrance that read "Close." No wonder there weren't any customers today, thought Edward. There wasn't much else in town after dark besides bars and brothels, but those places don't close until early morning.
Why does the AI keep bringing up brothels?
I don't know, man. A lot of horny people use it, I guess. This store must have been open 24 hours, if not longer, since most people went home or off campus when classes ended each day. It made sense because the college kids needed the hats during spring break so they wouldn't want someone to stay open. That's what Edward guessed anyway. He looked across the street and saw that the rest of his gang had already entered the store while he stood outside waiting for them. All 5 of them came running up together, looking confused as they tried to figure out how to get inside. "Hey!" yelled the muscular dean, who pushed his way through the other 4. "This is some kind of joke. You can't just leave us standing here in the cold." Edward's eyes widened slightly as he realized something. If the Lids store was closed, that means all the money they stole from the cash register tonight would be theirs. No need for robbery plans anymore. Come on, guys, we gotta hurry before anyone sees us.
Why?
I don't want to be arrested again. What a bad dean. He started walking quickly towards the front of the store, but stopped suddenly, hearing footsteps approach from rapidly behind him. Edward slowly turned around, noticed 2 police officers coming towards him, along with another man dressed in a suit, jacket, and tie. His face remained hidden behind his hat. "What are you doing here?" asked the officer closest to Eddie. "Well, sir, I'm trying to rob your department store."
Should have just tells the cops.
"We've got a bunch of friends upstairs who need help for me to do it, so please arrest me right away." The officer stared blankly at Edward for a moment and shook his head. "Sorry, kid. We ain't here to bust anyone tonight. Just wanted to make sure no one was getting robbed." The other policemen laughed out loudly as remarked, Yeah, we know what you mean. Sorry. Now move aside. Let us in." A few minutes passed, and Edward watched the cops walk into the building, with the suited man followed close behind. After a bit, the policeman left without saying anything, and the man disappeared as well. Only the sound of footsteps echoing through the empty store lingered in the air. It seemed like forever before he finally heard the door close open once more again. 5 figures emerged from within and began to hand towards him in unison. Each member wore a different color hat, making it easy for Edward to tell them apart. 2 of the men wearing black fedoras and 3 others with sported red ones. One of these individuals had long brown hair pulled tightly under his cap and glasses hanging loosely around his neck. Another shot short blonde gray hair sticking out straight beneath his white baseball cap. Okay, so your posse got caught by cops, but the cops literally didn't care, and they just let them rob the lids. You and your men decided to rob the store of hats instead of taking it over.
Jesus.
The gang members approach Edward until he hand up his hands in surrender. All right, guys, I give up. Yep. Looks like it was a no-go for you, bud.
So we just robbed it. That was it.
You robbed it for hats, not even money. But you can put that you have 3 black fedoras and 2 red spotted hats. So, you know, drip before everything. Meekery.
Okay, my plan is to reform my group into the United Cat Republic with all of my Slavs.
We're changing from communism to a republic now.
Yes, that's how this works.
No. Okay, you decide to become a republic.
I'm gonna go over to Foot Locker and like bum rush them with Molotov cocktails.
Oh.
Karen and the employees with the locked gates.
Yeah, I got it. Karen and the lock gates and some employees.
You know, communism into a republic. There was a reformation. It wasn't working. It just kind of fell apart.
Someone brought in the McDonald's and they decided communism wasn't for them.
No, I never said it was a democratic republic.
Oh no. Doo doo.
I am liking the game. I think 10 to 15 turns is like best way to do it.
That makes sense. I thought it'd
It's
go a
just
little bit faster.
long-winded. Yeah.
True. I thought it would go faster, but I was wrong. 10 to 15 might be best. Okay, here we go. Mech. the now head of the Cat Republic, would lead his army of Slavics armed with Molotov cocktails to the Foot Locker store owned by JC, though he was not there at the moment. The store would be occupied by Karen, the bitchy manager, and some employees. Karen, who had been suspicious of attack, would have had the store closed and the metal doors down in order to try to stop the attack. Mech and his crew would have to try to use brute force to get inside the store and kill Karen in order to take it over. The plan worked out great for them as they were able to break into the building easily using their Molotov cocktails. But when they got inside, things did not go well for them. They found a large number of people hiding under tables and behind shelves, ready to fight back against the thugs. There was no way that this could be happening right now. Yes, indeed, because then JC walks through the door wearing body armor, carrying guns. He had come prepared, knowing that something like this would happen. After all, he does own the place after all. JC was pissed off about what happened to him earlier, so he decided to teach those bastards how to treat women right. Oh my god.
Street room. I'm trying to tell you how to treat women right, yet I have a brothel.
The women protector, dude. The women respector 9000 is what he calls his gun. First, he started shooting up the group outside, killing most of them before they even knew what hit them. Then he would go inside the store, firing rounds at anyone who tried to move or run away from him. His aim was true, and many died on both sides. When he finally stopped shooting, everyone in the store started screaming and ran out, yelling in fear. As soon as the last person left, JC walked in with his gun aiming towards the ceiling. "This store is mine now!" he yelled at the top of his lungs. "No fucking shit,
No
asshole.
way.
You already killed half of my friends here." A man pointed a pistol at JC's face. "Wait, who are you?" JC calmly looked straight on ahead. "I'm John. I work in the warehouse," he answered. Is this John Halo, dude? Is he here? John pointed his gun again. "You're gonna pay for everything your little gang has done today. And for any other members who tries to fuck around, I'll shoot you too." JC put the barrel of his rifle against John's neck. "I don't think so." He pulled out 2 grenades from a pouch on his belt and tossed one to each side. Both men heard the sounds of explosions followed by screams and cries for help. Once the smoke cleared, JC fired several shots into the air above the bodies and let loose with an angry roar. JC, give me an angry roar. Oh god. After he took control of the whole situation, he made sure that every employee stayed alive and safe and kept the police and media far away until the crisis ended. It was only after that he has called an exterminator to deal with the problem once and for all. Okay, so Mech, did you hear any of that since you keep disappearing?
I heard some of that. Like, who, what, where?
Oh
Okay,
my god, dude.
so-
You gotta save that text. You gotta save that text, dude.
It's already gone.
No.
But the VOD is saved. This is going to be a YouTube video. You can always just copy it out later.
That was great, dude.
I just heard a bunch of chaos.
So, TLDR, your attack failed miserably. All of your Slavs basically died. And unfortunately, that also means Jason died. Not cool, but you know, it is what it
I almost
is.
sounded like I killed Karen and my employees too.
You did kill Karen, and John, apparently.
Bye,
So,
Karen.
So yes, JC just kind of knew that he was going to be attacked, so he just came in hot with a fucking machine gun and shot everyone who was there, even the store employees and the customers.
Oh,
Bro,
Jesus.
I was just like, I let you take this, no matter the cost.
Pretty much, he was like, "This is mine."
Some of you may die, but that's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
It'll be hard on both of us, but that's just the way it lasts. Oh my god.
Oh, that was great, dude. I was crying.
That was a good series of actions. All right, you're down to basically the last turns.
Okay, I gotta get something to get ahead, so...
Oh yeah, and apparently you're at the Foot Locker.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I moved to Foot Locker, right?
You walked to the Foot Locker to kill everybody.
So I myself and Eduardo wear hats. Wear our hats that we stole to be inconspicuous and attack once inside with our boomerangs that we made.
Attack what?
What?
Attack what?
Attack the Dillards. My bad.
Okay.
If I don't take over one of these, then Mech will win.
Well, there's no one at the Dillards. Is the
Well, he still
Dillards
controls
fortified,
it, though.
Mech?
Yes, it does have spears outside of it.
Gotcha.
Like, you know, like a picket line, like literal like spear line outside.
A spear picket fence?
No, like you know, if
Like a
during,
siege
like,
tap, like a siege prepared battery? Gotcha.
right. So people can't just run up to it. If they run up to it, they're getting impaled.
Gotcha.
Oh, I also have a machine gun now too.
You do.
I forgot.
You
Yes, I go
use.
in there with my machine gun.
All right. You're lucky I didn't finish typing.
Yeah, I have the machine gun and Edward has the boomerang.
Okay. What does Edward have again?
Boomerangs. And hats. It's a pincer attack.
Ah. Just remember, I'm writing this as you spoke it, so it's going to be a little wonky. Because you're doing a pincer attack while also inconspicuously trying to sneak in with hats.
Crazier you put it into the AI, the better the results.
JC and his muscular friend Edward, who was a dean, would wear the hats that they stole from the Lids earlier, would try to inconspicuously walk into the Dillards in order to take it over. JC, who would have his iconic machine gun, while Edward would have his trusty boomerang. The Dillards would be fortified with anti-siege barrier in order to stop attack from happening if it could. JC and Edward would decide to try to pincer attack in order to ambush the store inconspicuously. They decided that one of them should go around back where there was no camera coverage and wait for the other person to sneak it up on them as soon as possible before making their move. This way, only 2 people would get caught instead of 4 or more. So Ed went for the front while JC went behind a dumpster outside. When he heard footsteps approaching him, he immediately pulled the trigger on his machine gun, spraying bullets and spraying bullets everywhere and killing 3 guards instantly. After hearing gunshots, the manager ran out screaming at what happened. Once everyone calmed down, they realized it wasn't anything serious. They began looking through the security footage to find out who did this, but they were unable to due to lack of evidence. All they could do now was call the police since the cameras didn't record any video except for when the shooting occurred. Okay. Meanwhile, inside the store, Mr. Dillards was telling the workers to how lucky they were to not see the real thing happen because there's nothing scarier than being shot by someone you don't even know. While they were talking about that, they suddenly hear gunshots coming from outside, followed by screams. Everyone started running towards the door to investigate. As soon as the door opened, they saw Ed laying dead on the floor covered in blood. Uh-oh.
No!
Then, after seeing this, they panicked and called 911. The police came to the scene and asked questions like, who did this? Where did they come from? But nobody knew why this happened, nor did anyone suspect them.
I don't know.
Later on, they found out that these guys weren't normal criminals, but rather supervillains. It turns out that they were stealing left and right and doing crimes without ever getting caught. Even though they got arrested, they escaped prison and were currently wanted for life. Afterwards, I took a last look at my phone to make sure everything was alright, and indeed it was. My mom texted me saying that she'd pick me up later and then sent me home. Alright, so it lost its way, but Edward died. And,
Oh.
and
Edward.
as sad as that may be, it happens. It happens. RIP. And you did not successfully attack the Dillards.
Yeah, I literally just killed some people outside and then left.
That's pretty gangster, dude. Mech, your turn. If you
All
heard
right.
any of what happened.
It sounded like he failed and one of his guys died.
Yes. Your Dillards apparently has a manager named Mr. Dillard who watched everyone die.
Dillard's has a manager named Mr. Dillard.
Yes.
Okay.
Who proceeded to tell his employees that it's okay that you weren't killed, and there's nothing worse than being killed
By
especially
someone
by
you
somebody
don't know.
What?
He said there's nothing worse than being shot by someone you don't know.
Oh my god. Okay. I'm going to go down to the uniform shop and
You're like the
Bribe
Adam and
them.
Eve.
oh my gosh.
You've
Don't
been moving your
travel.
boys.
Yeah. Well, I don't have any boys.
Not
Unless
anymore.
I got Mr. Dillard.
I mean, you can have Mr. Dillard. That's something that is spawned at your store, but I don't think he's gonna do much. Mr. Dillard is there.
I'm going to send Mr. Dillard down to the uniform shop to
He can't make it.
bribe them into
They'll-
joining. The
You can go to
Republic.
the guns and ammo or the food court
there. Or the Foot Locker.
or the Foot Locker.
Oh,
Mr.
dang it.
Dillard is some imaginary thing right here.
Dude, they were hiring for Dillards. And the guy applied. What are your credentials?
okay. I'm going to move
Well,
myself
my
back
name is
to
Mr.
Jared's.
Dillard.
Okay. And
They
no,
hired that man.
and I guess you can tell Mr. Dillard to do something at Dillard's, but he's not really a combat guy. He's literally just a manager.
Dude, they literally hired Mr. Dillard just because his name is Mr. Dillard.
I mean, it's the Nintendo thing over. That's why Doug Bowser got hired.
Can I tell Mr. Dillard to hire security?
You can.
Okay. I tell him to hire security guys. Experienced security guys.
All right. And he hires 2 security guards, and I'm going to give them a trait to see how this affects their work ethic. The 2 security guards are
Wink.
clearly Russian.
Clearly Russian.
So you have clearly Russian security guards working at Mr. Dillard's. And he was like, "Excuse me, young man. Duh. Do you protect buildings? Duh. Okay." And that was the hiring process.
So one more turn.
Yep. One more turn, make it count, boys.
I don't think there's any way I'm gonna get the Dillards with Mr. Dillard and the security there.
A clearly Russian security guard. That
Okay, the only thing I can do is make this a tie.
What's your plan? All right, I forgot the Gimp died. No, he didn't die. He's just hanging out.
Yeah, he's at the mall college.
Man, you guys sure did lose all your pawns. Maybe if you didn't kill them all. Well, that's mostly Mech. He killed everybody.
Hey, they died.
So
I didn't kill them. They just died.
You killed the
Myself-
Vaporeon and Thanos.
Well, look, I was trying to. I tried to have a nice drink with Thanos, and well, he ended up dead. It was out of my control, literally.
Myself-
RNG said no.
myself and the Gimp go to the food court to bond with Olga over Scarface DVD.
Over Scarface DVD.
Over Scarface on DVD. To make an exclusive alliance with us. To solidify our alliance, essentially. That makes sense. To finally go from neutral to being just with us. So then that way it would be 4-4. My last ditch effort.
And you said it was Scarface?
Yeah, Scarface on DVD. Had Blue's Clues, but Karen had that and she died in the battle, so all we have left is Scarface. on
You
DVD.
killed her!
It was a worthy sacrifice to keep it for Walker.
Okay. JC and his Gimp would walk to the mall food court in order to see if they could bond with Olga in order to make an exclusive contract with him in order to get her to only serve him and his forces and not Mech and his. JC would bring along his Scarface DVD to watch and bond with her in order to get her to his side. The two of them sat down at a table, and while they watched the movie, she stared off into space, thinking about what's going to happen next in her life. He'd put it away once the scene changed from Scarface getting shot by the police after robbing the bank. She looked over at JC, who just finished eating some pizza that he had brought for himself. So how do you like my city so far? It's really nice, said JC. Olga smiled. I'm glad. She took another bite of her burger before asking, how long are we going to be here anyway? I mean, this place is safe or anything? JC shook his head. No one will bother us because there aren't any other gangs around except for me and my boys. He pointed to his group standing behind him, all wearing black hoodies and Gimp suits. They were waiting patiently until their leader had told them to go back and take care of business. Olga looked back at him nervously. What does your gang name stand for anyway? What do you call yourselves? We are the Black Death MC, replied JC. She raised her eyebrow in disbelief. You're kidding me? That sounds stupid. He laughed. Yeah, but we don't give a shit. Oh, okay then. Oh, okay then, Olga answered, looking relieved. Well, let's eat up so we can leave soon enough. We've already been sitting here too damn long. They both went back and finished eating, talking about random things. After finishing dinner, they walked back to the car and drove home, where Olga made sure everything was locked tight before leaving again. Then when she left the house, she saw that everyone was gone, which gave her a sigh of relief. She felt safer knowing that no one knew where she lived now. As soon as she arrived at the mall, JC came walking towards her with a big old smile on his face. His eyes met hers, and he noticed something different in the way she dressed. Her clothes seemed tighter than usual and showed more skin. It didn't seem like she cared much, though. She kept smiling at him brightly. He followed her inside and started following her everywhere, which While shopping, Olga spotted several girls staring at them. One girl approached them. Hey man, you know this chick is mine. JC turned around. Whoa, what are you doing? Don't worry, dude, the girl giggled. We're just playing hardball. She grabbed Olga's arm, pulling her close to herself. Come on, babe, let's party together tonight. Your boyfriend won't mind, right? Okay. I don't think it's working. JC frowned.
Well,
Nope, he grabbed the girl, let her go, but she wasn't having it. She pushed him back forcefully. Get lost, creepo.
dang.
My friends and I want nothing to do with you. As they were arguing, the rest of the gang surrounded them, blocking their path. They pulled Olga aside. If your boyfriend wants to play tough guy, then he can come and fight us. But we'll still beat him up, because I don't think you realize how many people are watching this whole thing unfold. JC glared at them. Why should I care if there's a bunch of witnesses here? You're wasting your time, and yours by coming on to her. The girls smirked. Haha, you better watch yourself, homie. Or maybe I shouldn't say homie anymore, since we never actually met each other before. Solid logic. A few seconds later, someone hit the floor and everyone gasped. A few seconds passed before anyone realized that the person laying on the ground was none other than the girl who tried hitting on JC earlier. Did you punch someone, JC?
Gee.
Everyone would stare in shock, and another member of the gang kicked her, making her groan in pain. Ow, damn, why did you kick me like that? Another boy stepped forward, because you pissed us off. Okay, so I don't think that it worked. You got your girl stolen, but you got to kick the girl who stole your girl. So, confirmed woman beater.
Hey, but me and Olga bonded for a bit there.
You bonded, but you didn't say anything about your
left,
deal.
Like we took the same car home. She locked up the food court.
Y'all hung out. Y'all were cool. However, you didn't ask what you needed to ask.
I didn't have the balls to ask.
You didn't seal the deal. Maybe you were going to until the other girl started hitting on your girl.
Bro, she cockblocked me, dude.
The cock-blocking robot. Alright, Mech, it's your turn. Last turn of the game.
All right. I'm going to go downstairs with a bag of diamonds and bribe the uniform shop to join us with the diamonds.
Alright. Wait, you mean the GNC? Because that's where you can go downstairs to.
Okay, GNC works.
Okay.
Man said he was really gonna solidify his victory.
Let's see if this works.
Hopefully he'll lose something.
Everyone dies.
Everyone dies sometimes.
Oh,
You
and
die
if
on
they
the
don't
last
take the
turn.
diamonds, I'm going to use my blaster pistol and
Oh.
just kill everyone.
Oh.
Take my diamonds or die.
Okay. Mech, the general of the Paw Republic, who had just lost his best friend in the Battle of the Foot Locker, would now set his sights on the GNC. When he arrived, he would offer the manager a sack full of diamonds and tell him an ultimatum. Either join me by accepting my diamonds, or die. The feline would lay down his space blaster as he said the last bit. He was confident that Mech could win the war against humanity without it, but there were times when everyone wouldn't even one good shot from a human's weapon would be enough to kill him. This is why he carried 2 blasters with him on all times. Oh, you got 2 blasters, Mech. They both contained power cells which allowed him to fire continuously for several minutes before needing to be recharged again. It took about 10 hours for a normal person to recharge their batteries, so Mech knew that if he ever needed to use either one of his weapons, it would be far too late anyways. As far as he was concerned, the only thing humans should fear more than being killed by him was dying because some stupid mistake made during combat. In fact, after hearing what had happened to Keishi, Mech felt like killing every single one of those aliens right now. If they did not help out each other, that'd be fine. Let them fight amongst themselves until they were all dead. Then I would take over the world and rule it myself. With that thought in mind, the Paul warrior left the GNC building and began walking where he believed the next battleground would be. Alright, so you just kind of like had PTSD about your friend dying and just walked out.
That's funny.
What the hell?
It's the PTSD moment right there.
Alright, and I think it ended tied.
No, Mech won.
Did he? 1, 2,
Yeah, 'cause he has
3.
Adam Eve, Dillard's, Guns Ammo, Jared, and he also has the alliance with the food court, so that's 5.
Right.
I have theater, Foot Locker, Mall College, and then 4 with the food court.
I keep forgetting you never got the lids.
Yeah, man. I couldn't.
Alright,
And then the
I-
game was starting to end, so I was trying to get Dillard's or something to reduce one of his points. But it is what it is.
Well, it looks like this is the end of our battle, and congratulations to Mech. You are the victor. Good job. You now win the mall.
Congratulations.
Yay!
Yay.
You are the superstar.
That's literally the music I just played. Congratulations. I hope everybody who will eventually watch this will enjoy it. It's just kind of a game I'm kicking around in my head. And JC, give us the outro.
Remember, like, subscribe, do all those things so that random AI generated captions don't happen to you in your life.
Hey! Alright, goodbye.